Hey everyone, today we're diving into the top 6 mistakes that brand new option traders make. If you're just starting out in the world of options, you're in the right place. Learning to trade in general can be a bit like learning to drive. It's exciting, but it's full of potential for mistakes, and some of these mistakes can lead to bad outcomes. So buckle up because we're going to talk about how to navigate through the potholes that can trip us up as beginners and how you can steer clear of them and give yourself the best opportunity to succeed right from the start. Stay tuned because you'll want to hear about these pitfalls coming right up. Hey everyone, Dan here once again, your joyful trader, full-time surgical nurse, active trader and investor, side hustle connoisseur, and former CEO of my own software company for 22 years. So if you're looking to grow your portfolio, boost your returns, get a better grasp on option trading, or discuss side hustles that work in between the cracks of time with your full-time job, you're definitely in the right spot. With 30 years experience in all of these areas, I've picked up countless valuable lessons and tips along the way. I love to talk and share about what I've learned. So subscribe and hit the notification bell so you stay updated with all the latest insights, tips, and option trading goodness. So why does all this matter? Well, obviously, avoiding common trading mistakes early in the game can save you a ton of frustration and time, and let's be honest, money. That's why you're embarking on option trading in the first place. It's the reason you're watching this video right now. It's because you're looking for valuable information on how to understand options better and to do the very best that you can, which tells me already that you're a highly intelligent person because you're willing to do some homework beforehand rather than just diving in blindly, which I see all the time, unfortunately. Trust me, every trader has been there, especially myself. The goal here is to help you learn from the errors that others have made, especially me, so that you don't have to go through the same painful lessons. I've made these mistakes myself several times over, and if I had to go back to the very beginning with knowing what I know from having learned the hard way, I will have probably shaved 2 to 3 years off of my learning curve and turned my equity curve into a hockey stick. All right, mistake number 1, not understanding the basics. This is a big one, and honestly, it's where most people get tripped up right from the start. So what do I mean by not understanding the basics? Well, options trading isn't just buying and selling stocks. It involves a whole new set of concepts like calls, puts, strike prices, expiration dates, and premiums, volatility, Greeks, and many other variables that go into calculating probabilities of profit and the actual price of the option itself. Think of it like this. If you're trying to cook a gourmet meal, but you don't understand the basic ingredients or the techniques for preparation, you're gonna end up with a mess in the kitchen. Options trading is really no different. And I've spoken in other videos about how I believe option trading is the best trading instrument that there is, especially for those of us with full-time jobs or other full-time commitments. But as opposed to other instruments like stocks, there is a bit of a learning curve here. Once you understand the basics before just running out and buying your first call option on Robinhood or whatever, the better equipped you're going to be for success. All right, so here's a real life example to illustrate this. Imagine a trader, let's call him John. I see you, John. John jumped into the options trading business because he heard it was a great way to make quick profits. He bought a call option right away on some stock because he thought the stock was going to go up. What John didn't understand was how the option's value was affected by time decay and volatility. The stock price did go up. John was right in that regard. But John still lost money because he didn't grasp how these other factors played into the option's price when he originally bought it. Frustrating, right? I'm not kidding when I say I've literally lost count of how many people that I have personally talked to, friends of mine, colleagues that have reported this exact same phenomena. And they come up to me for answers. They're utterly perplexed at why this has happened. And I'll ask them, well, when you bought the call, was it expensive or was it cheap? What was the volatility like at the time? What was your theta like at the time? And without exception, they can't answer any of these questions because they have no no idea. They're under the assumption that an option's price moves in conjunction with its related stock price on a one-to-one basis. The price of the stock goes up $1, the option price goes up $1. They have no idea how wrong they are in this regard and how these other variables influence the value of the option. I hear this exact same theme being asked all the time out there on social media like Reddit and Quora and Facebook and others. Why is my call losing money? Yet the stock is going up. So how do you avoid this? Start by building a solid foundation of understanding. There are tons of resources out there. There are books, online courses, videos, and channels like this one that can all help you understand those basics before you dive in. Take the time now to learn about how options work and what the key terms mean and how the different strategies can be used. It's like investing in a good set of knives before you really start cooking. It really does make all the difference. And one of the most important concepts to begin to understand and use options successfully is to know how their price is affected by all these other many variables. It's not just a one-to-one relationship between the option price and the stock price, but most people think it is. If you come to a car lot to buy a car that you have never heard of before or know nothing about, then how do you know if you're paying 10 times more than you should? Yet with options, new naive traders do this all the time. They just buy calls. I tell my friends and colleagues to never trade another option again until you've gone back and you've learned about this concept. It's where everything begins. And I would say that only 1 or 2 out of 10 of those people actually do that and invest the time in their own personal knowledge. The rest just go back to trying to gamble on pure luck and eventually end up quitting because they feel it's just too complicated. Well, I'm here to tell you that for the new option trader out there, there are people on the other side of your trade who are really good at what they do. They know how to do what they do, and they have deep pocket resources to withstand anything that you throw at them. And to think that you're just going to start trading options without some basic understanding of them and beat these people at their own game, they are more than happy to take your money. Some people would refer to the loser's money as a donation to the cause. Don't donate to the cause. Invest in your cause by learning the basics. Understanding these basics are crucial. It's the first step to becoming a successful options trader and avoiding costly mistakes. So take your time, do your homework, and don't rush into trades until you feel confident in your understanding of how option pricing works. Paper trade it for a while first to develop a sense of how it's working, how you're applying your knowledge. Now, this video isn't meant to go into the details of all these variables, but upcoming videos of mine will do just that. The point here is to be aware of the fact that new option traders need to understand the variables that influence the value of their options, both now and over time. Trust me, the markets will wait for you and they'll still be there tomorrow. All right, mistake number 2. Ignoring the Greeks. Now, if you're new to options trading, you might be wondering, what the heck are Greeks? Don't worry, they're not as intimidating as they sound, but they are incredibly important. And no, they don't wear togas. Those are the Romans. So the Greeks are a set of measures that help you to understand the risks and the potential rewards of your options trades. They include terms such as delta, gamma, theta, and Vega. I mean, that sounds kind of Greeky, right? That's why they're called the Greeks. Think of them like the dashboard on your car. You wouldn't drive around without knowing your speed or fuel level, engine temperature, etc., right? You shouldn't trade options without understanding the basics of the Greeks. So let's break it down with a couple of examples. First up is delta. Delta measures how much the price of an option is expected to change with a $1 move in the underlying stock. So imagine you're riding a bike up a hill. Delta is like the gear you're in. It tells you how much effort you need to put in to move forward. A higher delta means you need more effort, or the options price changes more dramatically with the stock's movement. Next, we have theta, which measures time decay. This one's crucial because options lose value as they get closer to their expiration date. Think of it like a loaf of bread. The fresher it is, the more it's worth. But as it sits on the shelf and gets closer to its expiration date, the value decreases. In options trading, theta represents this decay in value over time. And here's a real-world scenario. Sarah, a new trader, she buys a call option thinking the stock price will go up. She's right, and the stock does go up. But she didn't consider Theta, and she held onto the option too long. And by the time she sold, the option had lost a significant portion of its value due to the time decay. Even though the stock price did increase, she didn't make as much profit as she expected. And it's possible that she might not have made any profit at all, even though she was correct about the direction of the stock price. So how do you avoid this mistake? Get to know the Greeks. There are plenty of tools and resources available that can help you understand and monitor these metrics. They give you a clearer picture of your risk and potential reward, and they help you to understand whether or not you're paying too much to buy a call or if you're actually getting a bargain. So understanding the Greeks might seem complex at first, but it's essential for making informed decisions in options trading. Take the time to learn and incorporate them into your strategy. It's like having a GPS for your trading journey, helping you navigate the ups and downs more effectively. And if I can learn and understand this, you can too. All right, mistake number 3, over-leveraging. This is a biggie, especially for those who are new to options trading and they get just a little bit too excited about the potential for big gains. So what exactly do I mean when I say over-leveraging? Well, in simple terms, it means using borrowed funds or excessive amounts of your own money to increase your potential returns. While leveraging can amplify your gains, it can also amplify your losses. You can't have one without the other, and this can be disastrous if things don't go as planned. So think of it like trying to lift too much weight at the gym without the proper training. Sure, you might impress your friends if you can do it, but you're more likely to really injure yourself in the process. All right, so let's look at a quick example. Imagine a trader named Tom. Tom has $1,000 to invest, but he decides to use his margin to increase his buying power to $5,000. So Tom goes out and he buys a large number of call options because he's confident the stock price will go up. Unfortunately, the stock price did not go up and drops instead. Tom's losses are now 5 times what they would have been if he had only used his own money. Instead of a manageable loss, Tom is now in a deep financial hole. So let's apply some real-world numbers to this example. Tom starts with $1,000 to invest, but he decides to use margin to increase his buying power to $5,000. He buys 10 call options for $5 each on a stock that's trading at $50, and he spends a total of $500 with a strike price of $55. And the options are set to expire in a month. Oh, he's confident the stock will go up, but instead, nope, the stock price drops to 48. Since the strike price on this call is higher than the trading price, his call options expire worthless. Without margin, Tom would have bought only 2 call options for $5 each, using only $100 of his own money. With the stock price dropping to 48, those options became worthless, resulting in a $100 loss. However, because Tom used margin and he bought 10 options instead, his total loss is now $500. Instead of losing just $100, Tom's now down $500, and he still owes the brokerage the money that he borrowed, rendering his $1,000 account only worth $500 now, which is a 50% reduction. One more trade like that, and he's out of business. And in order to recover, he'll have to grow his account by 100% now. And here's another analogy. Think of over-leveraging like driving a car on an icy road at high speed. The faster you go, the harder it is to control the car and the more likely you are to crash. Using leverage without understanding the risks is just as dangerous. It can quickly turn a bad trade into a financial disaster. But far too many new options traders just jump right into using margin because all they think about is the huge payoff that they'll get if things go their way. It's like going all in on your first hand in a poker match without even seeing the cards. You're operating on pure luck, and even though you might have beginner's luck over the long run, that kind of methodology is not sustainable, and you only need one bad hand and you're wiped out. So how do you avoid over-leveraging? Well, first, stick to a sensible trading plan and only use leverage if you fully understand the risks involved. My advice, paper trade first for a while so that you understand how your trading platform works, how to read the charts, how to read the information, how the entire process works. Definitely start small and gradually increase your exposure as you become more experienced and confident in your trading abilities. Don't use leverage at first and only risk a small portion of your overall account so that you always have enough cash to move on to the next trade. Leverage can be a powerful tool, but it needs to be used wisely and carefully. The greater potential for gains always works in tandem with the greater potential for large losses. All right, mistake number 4. All right, mistake number 4 is a big one. Failing to have a plan. So this is really a common pitfall for new traders who get caught up in the excitement of trading without a clear strategy in place. Next to not understanding the basics, this is probably one of the most common issues that I personally encounter when I talk to new traders. They have no clear idea what to do after they put the trade on, win or lose. They just put it on and then see what happens. So what do I mean by having a plan? Essentially, it means knowing exactly why you're entering a trade, what you hope to achieve, and how you'll react to different scenarios. Trading without a plan is like setting sail without a map. You might end up somewhere, but it's probably not going to be where you want to go. A solid trading plan gives you direction and it helps you to make informed decisions. The plan is more important for what happens after you place your trade than before, because based on your research, the plan guides you and your emotions about what's going to happen when things go well and when things don't go well. By knowing what you're going to do in advance, that really helps to alleviate the psychological games and the emotions that wash over us during a trade. Fear and greed and how those feelings lead to anger, resentment, euphoria, etc. Man, when you're guided by those feelings without a plan, I can guarantee that you are going to really struggle to manage that trade. When you start responding out of panic and anxiety rather than by a pragmatic set of predefined rules, you're going to be living in the hope mode. And I can tell you that the hope mode quickly devolves into the oh my mode. So let's consider an example. Meet Alex, a new trader who's heard about the potential gains in options trading. Alex decides to go and buy call options on a tech stock because he thinks the stock price will go up. However, he didn't set any goals for the trade. He didn't determine a target price, nor did he plan for what to do if the trade went against him. The stock price fluctuates and Alex panics. He ends up selling the options at a loss, not because he had a reason, but because he just didn't know what else to do. And his emotions got the best of him. If Alex had a plan, he could have stuck to it and potentially avoided the panic sale. So think of having a plan being like going grocery shopping with a list. Without a list, you wander the aisles aimlessly, buying things you don't need, forgetting the things that you do. But with the list, you're focused, you're efficient, you're less likely to make impulsive purchases and deviate. In trading, a plan helps you to stay focused and it reduces the chances of making impulsive, emotion-driven decisions. I talk all about the psychology and emotional challenges of trading in general in this video that I made over here a few years back. Go check it out. It's a good one. So how do you create a solid trading plan? First off, you start by defining your goals for each trade. Are you looking for quick profits, long-term gains, or something else? Well, next, set your entry and exit points. Know the price at which you're going to enter a trade. And more importantly, know the price at which you'll exit, either to take profits or to cut your losses. Finally, plan for different scenarios. What will you do if the stock goes up, down, or just stays the same and goes sideways? Having these decisions made in advance really helps to take the emotion out of trading. And the plan is based on your pre-trade research ideally, but even if it's not, still having a predefined set of rules for managing the trade is better than just nothing at all and just watching and waiting. Having a plan is crucial for consistent success in options trading. It keeps you disciplined. It helps you make decisions based on logic rather than emotion. So take the time to plan your trades, then trade your plan, as they say. All right, mistake number 5, chasing high returns. This is a classic pitfall for new traders who get hypnotized by the potential for huge profits and they forget about the risks involved. So what does chasing high returns mean? It's when traders focus solely on the potential for big gains without considering the risks that come with those high reward trades. It's like seeing a flashy sports car and deciding you need one without thinking about the cost of insurance, maintenance, and the risk of speeding tickets. In the world of options, this often means taking on trades with high premiums and low probabilities of success. Let's take an example. Imagine a trader named Lisa. She hears about a hot tech stock and she buys out-of-the-money call options, which are way cheaper and promise huge returns if the stock price skyrockets. This is probably one of the most common scenarios that brand new options traders engage in. Unfortunately, the stock only goes up slightly and those out-of-the-money options expire worthless. Lisa loses her entire investment on this trade, all because she was chasing the potential for big high returns without considering the real likelihood of that scenario actually playing out. Think of it like buying lottery tickets. Sure, the potential payout is enormous, but the odds of winning are incredibly slim. In options trading, chasing high returns often means betting on low probability outcomes. There's a reason that those low probability options are cheaper. The traders selling them to you know this to be true, and they love taking your premium payments. It's important to remember that while high returns can be enticing, they often come with really high risks that lead to significant losses. So to avoid this mistake, focus on a balanced approach to risk and return. Instead of going all in on high-risk trades, diversify your option positions. Consider strategies that offer a more balanced risk-reward profile, like spreads or covered calls. These strategies may not offer the same sky-high returns, but they also come with lower risks and a much higher probability of success. A professional baseball team is far more interested in a player who can consistently hit singles than in paying big bucks to someone who might occasionally hit a home run. Focus on hitting singles and then doubles because you can do those far more consistently than trying to hit a home run every time you're up at bat. Additionally, always do your homework. Understand the underlying asset, the market conditions, and the probabilities associated with your trade. Hey, I'm just going to interrupt for a quick second and I'm going to mention one of the best brokerages for option trading that there is. It's one that I've been using for my options trading for years. It's called Tasty Trade. Their platform is hands down the best and the easiest options platform to use to visualize various option strategies, calculate the probabilities of profit, automatically manage my trades, and get live daily commentary and lessons all about the options market. I've been a computer programmer and designer of apps for years, and I have never seen a better designed system for evaluating and visualizing options trading than Tasty Trade. This is my own opinion, and this video is not sponsored by Tasty Trade, but I do use their platform and their brokerage, and I included a link to them down below in the description. I highly encourage you to take a look at them, at least give them a close consideration. And remember, trading is a marathon, not a sprint. It's better to aim for steady, consistent gains rather than trying to chase after the occasional jackpot. By focusing on a balanced approach, you can build a much more sustainable and successful trading strategy. You can withstand occasional losses, and you can be able to come back and trade the next day. All right, mistake number 6, neglecting to monitor your trades. This is a super common issue, especially for those who believe that once a trade is placed, the hard work is done. Spoiler alert, it's not. So what does it mean to neglect monitoring your trades? Essentially, it's when traders set up their option positions and then walk away, assuming everything will go according to plan. In reality, the market is constantly moving, and various factors can impact the outcome of your trades. Just like you wouldn't plant a garden and then never hang around to water or tend it, you shouldn't leave your options trades unattended. Let's consider an example. Let's meet Mike, a trader who set up a few options trades and then decides to take a vacation. He doesn't check his positions while he's away, and during that time, there's significant market volatility. One of the stocks he has options on experiences a big price drop due to unexpected earnings results. By the time Mike returns and checks his trades, his options have lost substantial value, and he's missed the opportunity to minimize his losses or make adjustments to his strategy. I mean, it's like leaving your stove on while you go out. You might come back to a perfectly fine house, but there's also a chance that you might come back to a disaster. In the same way, leaving your trades unchecked can result in missed opportunities and avoidable losses. Monitoring your trades allows you to respond to market changes and adjust your strategies accordingly. So how do you avoid avoid neglecting your trades? This one's easy. First, just make it a habit to check your positions daily, or at least with regularity, depending on the time frame of your trades. Now, for me, I set most of my options trades to expire within about 30 or 45 days, and so that lets me be able to basically look in on my trades once a day and still make adjustments if I need to. Set alerts for significant price movements or other key indicators that could affect your trades. Use tools and platforms that offer real-time updates and analytics. And most importantly, be proactive. Don't just react to what the market does. Anticipate potential scenarios and plan your responses in advance. Goes back to that piece about planning your trades, making a plan. By staying on top of your trades, you can make timely decisions, and they will protect your investments and maximize your returns. Remember, trading is an active process, not a set it and forget it activity. Although trading options definitely offers the ability to monitor your trades with less frequency like you would if you were trading futures or something like that, but still you need to monitor it. Keep an eye on your trades. Be ready to adapt as needed. All right, folks, there you have it. Top mistakes that new option traders make and how you can avoid them. Let's do a real quick recap just to make sure these points really stick. First, we talked about not understanding the basics. It's crucial to build a strong foundation before diving into options trading. Remember, knowledge is power. Starting with a solid understanding of options terminology and what it means, well, that can save you from costly mistakes down the line. Next, we covered ignoring the Greeks. These metrics might seem complex at first, but really, there's only a few important ones that I use so you can learn them. They're essential tools for managing your risk and your potential reward. Make sure that you do understand how delta, gamma, theta, and Vega can affect your trades. Then we discussed over-leveraging. Using too much margin can amplify your losses just as much as your gains. Always be cautious with leverage. Never risk more than you can afford to lose, as they say, but honestly, always leave enough so that you can come back to trade another day. Mistake number 4 was failing to have a plan. Trading without a strategy is like sailing without a map. Define your goals, set your entry and exit points, and stick to your plan to avoid emotional and impulsive decisions. Another easy way to do this is to set your profit targets and your stop losses with your broker at the time that you place the trade. This takes the control away from you and really helps to ease anxiety. Next up was chasing high returns. While the allure of big profits is tempting, it usually comes with high risks. Focus on a balanced approach and consider strategies with higher probabilities of success. Focus on hitting singles and doubles consistently and enjoy the unexpected home run when it does happen. But don't count on that to be part of your plan. And lastly, we talked about neglecting to monitor trades. The market is always moving, and staying on top of your trades is essential. Regularly check your positions, set alerts, and be proactive in managing your investments. By avoiding these common mistakes, you'll be well on your way to becoming a more successful and a confident options trader. And remember, trading is a journey. Every step you take to educate yourself and improve your strategies will pay off in the long run. Allow yourself some time to learn. Be patient, and you'll find that you can do this. I love what Warren Buffett said. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Be the latter, not the former. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the subscribe button here, ring the bell so that you never miss an update. I love to hear about your experiences and any of the mistakes that you think should be on this list. Let me know what your personal challenge has been, so drop a comment below. And if you have any questions or topics that you'd like me to cover in the future, post them down below as well. Thanks for watching, and as always, trade wisely, live fully. See you next time.